Welcome and thank you for joining this webinar. My name is Dr. Sofia Wenzler. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and the clinical lead here at StopOCD, a therapy program that combines online and personal therapist support. And today we're going to talk about how our program actually works in all detail, whether it's a good fit for you, and how effective it actually is. My presentation is going to be for about 20 minutes, and I really want to encourage you to stick around until the end, because if you do decide to subscribe, we have a promo code for you that will give you a $100 discount on your first subscription. So don't miss out on that. All right. If we look at the overarching structure of our program, then you will see it has two main components. The first one is our online therapy platform. On this platform, you will go through a therapy program that is based on the most effective approaches that we know of for OCD. And the way we do it is that we break down this whole therapeutic process into sessions, each with its own content. And you will go through those sessions at your own pace. So the content is basically fully customized to your needs and expectations. The second main component is our therapists. For me, our team of therapists, they are the heart of the program. All of them are experts when it comes to OCD. They have both the knowledge and hands-on experience that you need. And they will basically build this program for you. So they will decide which session is the best for you at any given moment. And you can communicate with them as much as you want via written communication. However, it's very important to remember that no change comes without effort. So the communication with your therapist is key. The more you communicate with them, and we know that based on our own research, the better the results that you're going to get. And while we take you through this effective and evidence-based approach for OCD, you will also get to know and start practicing more and more new coping skills that will help you manage your symptoms. And since we know that regularly practicing new skills can be challenging, we created specialized tools. You can think of them almost like apps within the program that will help you anytime you learn a new coping strategy to really practice it in between sessions and to implement it into your life. If we dive a little bit deeper into our program, then we can also look at any session in and of itself. So every session, whether it's a session of our core program that guides you through this evidence therapeutic approach for OCD, or additional sessions that I will talk about later, it doesn't matter. They all have kind of those three reoccurring elements that are very important to us. The first one is learning. We believe that the better you know a problem, the easier it's going to be for you to find solutions for it. So we want you to really become an expert when it comes to OCD, and even more so when it comes to your own personal OCD. We want you to know your triggers. We want you to get to know the best coping strategies. We want you to know exactly why you do the things you do and why the thoughts that come up, right? The second element would be exercises. As I said before, no change comes without effort. Basically, when I work with clients in my own private practice, I explain it to them like this. You come here for 1 hour a week, right? And we talk about really important things, but if you don't work on the things that we've discussed in the 167 hours between each therapy sessions, there's going to be no change. And the same is true for our therapy program here. So whatever it is, whether it's exposure exercises, monitoring of your triggers, or a breathing technique, you're going to gain more and more tools as you go through the program, and practicing those is key. However, you're not alone while you're doing that. Through our program, your therapist will see every time you practice a new skill, they will see what you note down in our tools, and they will be there to guide you through it step by step and help you fine-tune your technique as well. And finally, we always include some space for reflection and discussion in our sessions. The sessions are actually also a jump-off point to get the communication with your therapist going. So during the sessions, we will ask you questions about your progress, about your thoughts concerning what you just learned. And your therapist will see your answers and can then relate, add additional thoughts, ask follow-up questions. And that's what's going to keep, the conversation with your therapist rolling. So as I mentioned before, all our therapists have mastered every evidence-based technique that we use in this program. However, in addition to that, it's a really cool team where everyone has their own specific background, whether it's expertise in different mental disorders or whether they know other therapeutic approaches. Every therapist is different, and every therapist will give their own personal touch into this therapeutic process. And I know for a lot of our clients, it's hard to open up at once. Oftentimes, OCD can come with a lot of stigma, but rest assured that our therapists know exactly what you're going through. They've helped many clients before you, and they've always been described as understanding, empathetic, and most importantly, non-judgmental. As I mentioned, the communication is in written messages, so it's different from what you know as standard face-to-face therapy. However, this means that you also can write to your therapist as much as you want, so feel free to chat as much as you like. And it also means that communication will be at your own pace, right? So you can review conversations whenever you want. You never have to worry about forgetting something. If your therapist asks you a question that is difficult to answer, you can take some time. You can even consult, with someone, reflect on it, and then answer your therapist. We've even had clients take screenshots of their conversations with their therapists because they didn't want to forget about it, and they used them to print them out or to save them as the wallpaper on their phone. Okay. I did mention probably more than once that we use evidence-based techniques here at StopOCD. So obviously, I want to explain to you a little bit more about that. First of all, evidence-based means that the strategies that we use here, that we want you to learn, are grounded in sound academic research and have been proven to be effective when it comes to the treatment of OCD. And what we use here is cognitive behavioral therapy, in short, CBT. More specifically, an adaptation of CBT that's specifically for OCD that is called exposure with response prevention, ERP. If you've ever typed into Google, what is an effective treatment for OCD, then ERP should be the first thing that pops up. Let me explain to you a little bit about cognitive behavioral therapy. So this is actually one of the best known and most popular evidence-based approaches, and it is based on the assumption that the way we act and think can affect the way we feel. So cognitive stands for thinking, behavioral stands for actions, and the way we think and act can influence the way we feel, because oftentimes, let's be honest, the way we feel is the reason why we go to therapy. It's because we feel anxious all the time, because we have problems managing our anger, because we feel depressed. The emotions are the part that are really difficult to cope with sometimes. And if you look at if you look at OCD, so many abbreviations, through the lens of CBT, then OCD will basically present like a cycle, okay? You have the thoughts when we're talking about OCD, those are intrusive thoughts that we actually don't want to think. And those thoughts cause an emotion, they cause anxiety and distress. And that anxiety and distress then makes us do things that we actually deep down know we don't have to do, or that feel exaggerated. And that can take up a lot of space in our lives, right? And so CBT basically wants us to understand the cycle in order to then find ways to break the cycle by rephrasing and challenging intrusive thoughts and by reducing compulsive behavior. Specifically, for dealing with the compulsive behavior, we use this strategy that I mentioned, exposure with response prevention. So the idea of exposure with response prevention is to exercise over and over again to expose yourself to an intrusive thought or to a situation that triggers your OCD without engaging in the compulsive behavior. And this sounds very easy, but like, okay, if I could just stop with the compulsive behavior, why haven't I done it so far, right? So it's a specific strategy that helps you to break it down into small steps, that explains to you exactly what happens when you're triggered by your intrusive thought, and that helps you let go of this compulsive behavior that maintains the cycle. However, we know that even if the main reason you present to therapy might be OCD, other topics, other problems will always come up. It might be something from your relationship, a problem with your family, something that happened at work. Even if the main goal is trying to cope with OCD, we've noticed here that other issues will always also enter the conversation. And that's why we basically designed a toolkit of additional sessions that cover all kinds of topics, such as additional coping strategies, meditation, breathing techniques, but also sessions on specific topics like setting boundaries and creating realistic expectations. And again, your therapist is going to be the one that decides, which session might make sense to you at any given moment, and who's going to kind of tailor fit this whole process to your needs. And I know a lot of you, or it's probably a very important question for a lot of you, whether this program works. We know that the combination of digital therapy sessions, guidance by an expert therapist, and specialized tools works really well. In fact, we published results that are based on outcomes of our programs for other OCD-related disorders, such as skin pick and hair pulling, in a peer-reviewed journal. And in general, based on our data, we know that 92% of our clients would recommend our program to others. After 3 weeks, 75% of our clients experience symptom reduction, and clients experience more than 43% reduction in their symptoms within 3 months. So those are really promising results, and that's why we want to now use this effective and accessible approach also to help people who suffer from OCD, and we will publish data on those cases in the future. All right, so I want to just get to some questions that we get asked quite frequently. First of all, is the program covered by insurance? The short answer, we do not submit claims to health insurance. Our program is mostly not covered by health insurance, Medicare, or Medicaid. I know that coverage and benefits for traditional therapy change from one health insurance company to another, and even from plan to plan. But if you consider, inquiring with your insurance company about coverage, then I want you to think about a few aspects before that. So first of all, with many health insurance plans, coverage can be partial or very limited. And even if your plan covers all your costs, the copay that you would be required to contribute may be higher than the entire cost of StopOCD. Finally, also consider that before you can get reimbursed by your insurance for StopOCD, usually your therapist will be required to submit a diagnosis, and that diagnosis will be then saved in your medical file. Another important question, do you do video sessions? So yes, we offer video sessions at an additional cost. I think it's very important to know that the program works without video sessions. The whole reason that we don't do video sessions is to make the program more accessible and affordable. That's why we've created it in a way that it works without sitting face to face with your therapist. The written communication can work really well. However, if you do find that you want to have video sessions, then contact us and we can arrange that for you. How much time do I have to spend each week? So there's no one right answer to that. The whole idea is that this program can adjust itself to your needs. We know that sometimes you might have more resources to invest time in the program, and there might be periods in your life where you can do less, and that's okay. And that's how we know it works. However, the more effort you put in and the more time you invest, the quicker you will see results. So if you manage to write to your therapist several times a week and go through one session every 1 to 2 weeks, then that will ensure that you will go through the program at a good pace. Finally, do you prescribe or recommend the use of specific medications? So this program does not explicitly address medication use. This is a psychotherapy program. If you're currently taking medications or planning to start taking medications, we recommend consulting with your doctor or a psychiatrist. Concerning the payment, StopOCD is a subscription-based program. So you get our services for 4 weeks at a cost of $260. The subscription renews until you cancel it. And I know at first $260 might sound like a high price, but actually, if you think about it for a second and remember what traditional therapy costs, which lies at an average of around $600, then this program is actually quite slim. Plus, this program provides personalized tools, daily therapist communication, and we can guarantee you that your therapist is going to be an expert for OCD, which is also not that easy to find. When it comes to the payment, you decide how much you will get out of this program. If you invest the time, if you do your assignment and practice the new coping strategies, and if you communicate frequently with your therapist, then you will get a lot out of this investment. And if you want to try it out at this point, then I just want to remind you that we have a promo code for you. You can see it on the screen right now, ProWeb100, that will give you a $100 discount on your first subscription. So feel free to use that. If you're still on the fence, that's okay, of course. Then I really want to encourage you, and also the ones that want to subscribe, all of you, please follow us on social media. We're present on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok. Those are great spaces to learn new things, to build community, to be part of a forum. And also you can check out our website, StopOCD.com. We have a blog that is frequently updated and much more information and materials for you there as well. Okay, that's it for today. If you have any questions at this point, please feel free to contact our customer support at stopocd.com, and we will answer as fast as we can. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day.